Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Retro and the Retro Gamer Show.
Coming up on today's show,
I take a look at a film that will bring those N64 and GoldenEye memories flooding back.
I check out a brand new racer that's inspired by the classic racers of the 80s and 90s.
Plus we have another Games Chart flashback and much more.
But first, a couple of weeks ago we went to an amazing retro gaming event, Revival Generation X.
And here's our report.
Revival Generation X 2018 was held at the Bank Stadium in Warsaw over the weekend of the 19th and 20th of May. This year's Revival was spread over two main halls and it was bigger than ever.
This hall was called Bytes of the 80s and was mainly filled with computers, consoles and arcade machines from that time. On the Saturday, the legendary Doom creator John Romero could also be found in this room doing a signing session.
It was really amazing to see so many of the arcade machines that we remember playing in the arcades over the years all in one place. Everything from Pac-Man, Pac-Land, Cuba, Scramble, Outrun, Chase HQ, Super Hang-On, it was just all there and all set to free play.
One of the highlights of this year's show for us was Chris Parsons with his Vectrix collection. Chris had several Vectrix homebrew games on show, including Frontier, a new game he's working on based on the arcade game Sheriff, a version of Battlezone that his friend Jim Watt is working on, and his very own completed game Big Blue. If you're interested in owning a copy of Big Blue, it's available to order now from www.vectorrepublic.co.uk. Chris also had on display this amazing looking Vectrix arcade stick, which he told us was made in very low quantities a few years ago.
Also at the show you could try out this brand new game for the Mega Drive called Tanglewood, which we were told is in its final testing stages, ready for release. The guys from Azobi Tech were demonstrating their game called Mau Mau Castle, which reminded us of Space Harrier in many ways. This version of the game is running on a Windows PC and was actually controlled using your arm and a Leap Motion controller. They told us that a mobile version of the game will be available soon for iOS and for Android devices.
Last life now, into the checkerboard, last bit. Stay alive. Oh, it was right at the end. Right at the end. 188,000 points. You're on the board with your initial.
It really was good to see so many people of all ages at the event, just hanging out and enjoying gaming on all these old machines.
This room also had live music with a DJ playing retro style music and this band called the British IBM. They're a band that's based in Cambridge and love their retro gaming. They even have a track called Jet Set Willy. You may have also heard their self-titled track, the British IBM, as it was featured on the trailer for the 2014 documentary From Bedrooms to Billions.
And now on to the second hall, which was called Next Gen 90s and was obviously mainly dedicated to the 90s onwards.
This was also the room that held most of the traders which sold games for every system going and all manner of other retro gaming related stuff. This store is Sore Thumb Retro Games from York, and here we also have a very polite Dave Perry.
The front looks so cool. Don't lose it.
One of our favourite arcade machines in this room was this Sega Ferrari F355 Challenge cab. And the cab to the left here, just out of shot, was also another favourite of ours, Daytona USA.
The highlight of this room for us, however, was Alex from the YouTube channel Nintendo Arcade, who was good enough to take along his Sky Skipper and Sheriff cabs for everyone to experience and enjoy.
I don't care.
This room also had a Street Fighter 2 Turbo competition going on up on the stage throughout the day.
And finally, in a small room right at the end, there was a good selection of loads of pinball machines to play. Colin here is playing Black Rose. While I could not resist having a go on this Back to the Future pin.
So there you have it, this year's revival was a great event. It was just like the ultimate celebration of gaming history. It's going to be hard for revival retro events to put on a better show next year, but you know what, we're pretty sure they will.
That was an amazing weekend.
Yeah, everyone who went seemed to have a great time and said it was the best revival event yet.
Now, I hear you've been checking out a new movie that's video game related.
Yes, it's all about the N64 and GoldenEye. It's the mockumentary Going for Goldeneye. So you join me as I am just about to watch for the very first time the mockumentary Going for Goldeneye. This has just come out on Blu-ray and I don't know an awful lot about it, apart from it's obviously about one of our favourite N64 games, GoldenEye, and it follows a group of guys as they're going into the GoldenEye World Championships, which according to the mockumentary is still being held in 2017, although it is declining in popularity. So I thought I'd watch the movie, then I'd come back and give you my views on it. So while I do that, why don't you watch the trailer?
When it comes to pure competition, nothing compares to the GoldenEye World Championships.
4 players all on one screen.
The way competitive games are meant to be played. None of this online gaming bollocks.
I can't think of any other athlete who's been on top of their game for almost 2 decades.
Ethan, the 19-time champion, is my hero.
He's a brand, a franchise. The power, the integrity, the skill.
Being a 19-time world champion means 19 people have faced me and 19 have failed.
We first realised Ben wasn't normal in his teens.
He was stuck in his room playing that Nintendo.
I love video games. The escapism, being a hero, getting the girl.
He's playing to be best in the world. How many people can say that? Wasting his bloody time!
The numbers attending the championships are getting smaller every year.
Crowds will be back. It's the 20th anniversary. They'll come.
One day there will be statues erected of me in town centres around the world.
Erections are my speciality.
This was my one shot, alright, to prove to everybody that I'm not a loser.
Why do people care about GoldenEye anymore?
Get off it!
Ethan, crash!
So I've just finished watching the film and I actually really enjoyed it. Now if I sound a little bit surprised at that, that's because I'm not always a big fan of the mockumentary style of movie. But this one was good fun, and of course it's about gaming and about GoldenEye. Going for Goldeneye is an independent film that no doubt has been made on a fairly low budget, but when watching it there are no real signs of that. It's well shot, well edited and well acted. The story and the characters drew me in, and I soon found myself liking some characters more than others, and winning those that I liked on to win and succeed. The story also had a few subtle twists and turns along the way, and things didn't always turn out the way I thought they would. The film is also very funny, and I actually found myself laughing out loud on several occasions. Of course, being a film about GoldenEye, this was a big nostalgia trip for me. As I watched, I found myself fondly remembering all the hours I'd spent playing the game against my friends back in 1997. The film even mentioned several things I'd actually forgotten about the game, and it was at this point that I began to realise that this was actually a film made by people that, like us, had spent many happy hours playing GoldenEye and also had a real love for the game. So would somebody who's never played GoldenEye before and doesn't actually enjoy gaming still enjoy this movie? Well, I think they actually would. It's still a really good story, there's still some really funny parts that they would enjoy, and on the whole it's a really enjoyable feel-good movie. But for me, and for those of us that have fond memories of playing GoldenEye on our beloved N64s, and even still play it today, this film is a winner. If you would like to order yourself a copy of Going for GoldenEye on Blu-ray, then you can do so for £12.99 by visiting goingforgoldeneye.co.uk. The Blu-ray also contains over 60 minutes of extra features, a director's commentary, and the collector's art print insert. For those of you that like your collector's editions, there is also one available that comes with a rather cool looking N64 style box for £29.99. But hurry, as only 64 of these boxes have actually been printed. I wonder why 64? Oh, I get it.
Well, Colin, that sounds like a great film, and I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. If you've got some memories of GoldenEye on the N64, it's a right trip down memory lane, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's worth checking out.
Now, I think it's time to check out the Games Chart Flashback.
In this month's Games Chart Flashback, Arnie is still packing cinemas in Last Action Hero. John Major's keeping things rather dull and grey at number 10. And UB40 were number 1 with this.
Yes, it's June 1993, and we're going to take a look at the Master System chart. Now, by this time, the Master System had changed from this to this. Now, back when Disney wasn't all about Star Wars, and parents were confused thinking they've already bought this title before, Mickey's back, this time in Land of Illusion, at number 5.
At number 4, it's the Bitmap Brothers with Speedball 2. Now, this was one of my favourite games on the Commodore Amiga, and this version's obviously not quite as good, but it's still a fun playable version.
Yes, Taz, we know you made it to number 3. Now, this game was all about searching through the Lost Valley and looking for a giant bird.
At number 2, it's another of my Amiga favourites, and it's Lemmings. Now, I'm sure most of you have come across the Lemmings games before, but for those of you that haven't, then this is a game where you have to help the Durbrain Lemmings safely get home. I'm sure I'm not the only one that on the odd occasion I enjoyed blowing them all up as well.
And at number 1, the mighty Sonic 2. Now, as a bit of clever marketing, this game was actually released on a Tuesday, November the 24th in 1992. They called it Sonic Tuesday. Anyway, on this day, I only skived school, got caught and was on report for a month, purely just to pick this up from Boots. I got grassed up by the bus driver and my parents went mental.
So James, did you really skive off school to go and buy Sonic 2?
I'm afraid I did, and I paid the price. I was on report for a month. I was grassed up by the bus driver.
But I'm sure it was worth it just to get that game.
It was a good game.
So anyway, moving on, I'm sure that most of you probably noticed that there's no driving games in that top 5 for the Master System. But James, I know you've been recently checking out a brand new game for the PlayStation 4 and PC that's really inspired by some of the old retro gaming classics.
Okay, so you join me for my first go playing Horizon Chase Turbo. Now, if you like your old school racing games, you're gonna love this. Horizon Chase Turbo is a racing game inspired by the great hits of the 80s and the 90s. Outrun, Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge, and Top Gear on the SNES. Each curve and each lap in Horizon Chase Turbo recreates classic arcade gameplay fun. With its mix of retro style yet modern high quality graphics, the game really does look stunning playing on modern HD and 4K screens. The chiptune inspired music also sounds great and is by Barry Leach, the actual sound designer that worked on games like Top Gear and Lotus Turbo Challenge back in the 90s. Although there's a deep and extensive single player mode featuring 12 cups set over 48 cities, there's 109 tracks with 31 unlockable cars and 12 upgrades available to you. Horizon Chase Turbo also has local multiplayer split screen support across all game modes. This is by far our favourite way to play the game and brings back the nostalgia of playing local multiplayer with you and your friends actually sitting next to each other on a couch and playing games all night long. You can also challenge your friends in an online competitive ghost mode and make history by adding your name to both your friends and the global leaderboard. There we go, what a great game. It's so fast and there's loads of things to pick up along the way to help you out. I love the feel of the speed of this game. When you hit the nitro, it really does zoom you along. Now, fingers crossed, hopefully one day someone will make Chase HQ and I would love to get that. But this is great.
So that looks like a game, James, that I've got to play.
It's really loads of fun, and if you want to pick one up, you can get it from the PS Store, or also it's available on Steam for about £15.
Oh, that's a good price as well. So anyway, moving on, and there's now something new for the show. It's a new idea, and it's something we thought about doing, and then a certain Mr. Russ Newton, that some of you may know from the YouTube world, said to us it would be a good thing to do as well. So here's our roundup of this month's retro gaming events here in the UK in something we're imaginatively calling What's On. So kicking off our roundup of retro gaming events being held in June 2018 is Play Expo Glasgow. This is being held at the Braehead Arena between the 9th and 10th of June. And I know Ravi from the Retro Hour is going to be there, so it should be a great event. To get more information on this one, just visit www.playexpoglasgow.com.
And the following week, on the 16th of June, if you're anywhere near London, you should check out RetCon, the Retro Gaming Festival. It's being held at the Greenford Community Centre, so if you're anywhere near there, go and check it out.
Next we have the latest Super Retro Games Fair, which is being held at the Leeds University Union on Saturday the 23rd of June between 11 and 4. And for more information on this one, it's the retrogamesfair.com.
And finally, a gaming market for us Southerners that isn't in London. It's the Bristol Gaming Market being held at the Passenger Shed in Bristol on Sunday the 24th of June. We're going to be there and we're very much looking forward to it. If you need any more information on this event, visit bristolgamingmarket.com.
And finally, closing out this month's roundup is the ever popular video game market, which is being held at the Doncaster Dome on Saturday the 30th of June. For more information, it's www.thevideogamemarket.co.uk.
Well, there's loads of events. If you're in the area for one of those, do check them out.
yes, get down there and support your local retro gaming event. So that's more or less it for this month's show. We hope you've enjoyed it. And we'd like to just say thanks to everyone that commented last month, left us nice comments, and to say thank you to you. You look out for your name going up in the end credits. Don't forget, we will be going to the Bristol Gaming Market on the 24th of June, so we're looking forward to that. Let us also know in the comments if you're going to that, and if you see us there, come up and say hi. But until next time, James, as always, what they got to do?
Keep it retro, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Game over.